Okay, so welcome to the shit fight that is my shed and this table here. Get some of this stuff out of the way. Now what we're doing is on the Pajero that I got. It's basically got a nudge bar, and I'll try and put a picture in up the top here somewhere. Now basically on the nudge bar I've got a bunch of stuff that I want to fit. I really would have liked like a bull bar or something along those lines. But I don't, so we're going to have to work with what we've got. I'm going to end up mounting the spotlights that I've got, just standard driving lights on the nudge bar, which has actually got holes for. Now you can either use those holes for, you know, putting on antennas or spotlights. You've only got two. And I obviously want to mount some more stuff up there because I'm a bit more reluctant to start mounting stuff onto either the gutters on the roof. You know, I'd like to keep this a bit lower than the leaker at 2.5 metres, so I can still get in car parks and stuff. So what I've actually seen on the Pajero forum is what they do is they take some plate aluminium. Now I think this is probably around 4mm, give or take, 3 or 4mm, or maybe a little bit thicker than that, and they run it across the top of the nudge bar, and you'll get to see this when we're finished. I'll probably put a picture up of the finished product so you can get an idea of what we're talking about. And then they mount their, whether it be their driving lights or whatever, through this into the mounting holes of the nudge bar, and then obviously that gives you all this extra real estate across here to mount antennas or whatever else it is that you want to mount on here. So because space is at a premium, we'll make the most of it, and this will give us a platform to work with. So what I've done is I've got the plate, the aluminium. I basically had this laying around from antenna products and whatever. So this is around about, width-wise, in case you're looking to do this yourself, so it's about 100 wide, and we're calling that about 3mm. So 3mm depth, but because I actually want more rigidity, because I'm planning on putting the ATAS 120, which is a ham radio antenna onto this, which is fairly solid, so I wasn't going to be happy with the rigidity I was getting out of just the one piece of 3mm. So what I'm going to do is I've cut this basically to 900 length, so 90 centimeters in length, and I'm going to double it up together. So I'm actually thinking rivets. I'm not real sure, but for now I've cut the two pieces. I was actually going to go 3, believe it or not, to give it a really nice thickness. But what I didn't have enough to go the 3 full lengths. So what I'm going to do is go the 2 full lengths to give me the 6mm. And for now, I'm just going to drill into it and tap it in a couple of places with a couple of screws. I've just got them clamped for now on either end. Not much in that. But I think for now, just for the sake of just holding it together, I think that is going to do. At this point, I've got 3 rivets in, one here, one in the middle, and another one here, and rigidity wise that's staying together. When I was drilling that last one, you might have noticed, if I've shown that in the clip, was when I was starting to drill through, this was shifting a little bit, so I had to re-clamp it. I think my alignment's pretty good. It's going to be close enough. I might put a round edge or something on that, or not, depending on how lazy I'm possibly feeling. So we've got all our rivets done. That's 6. They seem to be holding pretty well. I'm pretty happy with myself there, I've got to say. I've never really done a lot with rivets. I think I've just realised I've drilled into... I might have already been there. Anyway, so now I'm looking for something to round the edges. Now I was just going to go by hand, but I need something to give me a bit of a radius, and I think possibly just an aerosol can might do that. That's going to get us a reasonable way out. And again, keeping in mind I haven't done this before, so I'm kind of figuring out as I go along. But I think I'm going to go with something like that. So this was a an old angle grinder that was, sorry, angle grinder, an old bench grinder that was gifted to me. And I think it doesn't matter which one of these, this aluminium's so soft, I think they're just going to eat it away like nothing else. So this grinder doesn't work quite as well as I thought it was going to be. I think maybe these need to clean up. It's the first one of these I've ever owned, and I've been given. You see the aluminium's just gunking it up, so it's not working really well at all. And you'll see the other side is pretty much the same, so that's really not working. So I took off a little bit, rounded a few of the edges, the hard edges, just on these parts. Tried to straighten this out a little bit because there was a bit of overlap and it was a bit of a rough cut, and got as far as I could, and then basically gave up on getting it as round as this. Gave up on getting it as round as that there, and decided just to round off the edges as good as I could. Got it to where I was reasonably happy with it. There weren't any sharp points on it, and then grabbed the hand file and finished her off by hand. Alright, so this is where I'm at the moment with this. Apologies for not keeping you up to date with all the stuff, but again I've been working on this as I get home, and the light's not been real great in the shed. The sun's actually going down now, but I am progressing into playing with the dash and running some wires. I'm heading away camping next weekend, and it's just Friday now, so I've got about a week to get the brake controller wired up, get these two lights wired up. I want to run some wires and stuff for an LED light bar that's going to go down the bottom here. I've got some ideas there that are a little bit different, hopefully. Route some coax for what is effectively going to be my HF antenna. Probably won't be that one. It's probably going to end up being the ATAS 120 to go with the Yaesu FT857. Still haven't decided which radio is going in yet. I've got to finish drilling this, and I've probably made a mistake by fitting this. There's a bit of a pain in the backside to get this on. I haven't finished drilling that hole because I'm still waiting for the SO239 barrel connector that I need to fit through that. This one is just a 5/8 or something, so it's one of your CB connectors, typically seen on your 27 meg type stuff for American based things. It's got an SO239 on the bottom. But because I've sandwiched these two plates together, and it's probably about 9mm, give or take, from top to bottom, this actually fits okay. But if I just go with one of your standard SO239 connectors that you might see on, like on your bonnet, your Z type mounts and stuff like that, they don't come through far enough on the top from actually to a mounted antenna. They almost sit flush. So we'll fix that with a barrel connector. I do have one around, but for the life of me I can't figure out what I've done with it. I use it on another project and have placed it somewhere and can't remember. The lights, you can see, are just mounted flush to the actual bar itself, and then they actually fit through the bar, and it become the mounting point for the bar to the actual nudge bar itself. So this flat piece of the nudge bar. So I also need to get a larger bolt for these. It was actually a 10 M10, and I think went with a 75mm length. 60 would have done, but they didn't have any 60, and I stuck with stainless there. Now to get these on, what you'll notice is there's no working room in between here and the actual front of the car where the bolts actually go up. So if you undo these two bolts, these two here, one here, either side of your number plate, and then come under here, you'll see there's another one down here somewhere, up here, and another one on the other side. So literally just the 4 bolts holding on the nudge bar, and if you loosen those off sufficiently, it allows you to lever on the bar, pull it forward just a little bit to get those bolts up there. And that's just the dog talking to me. To lever the nudge bar forward and get some room to work up there. It is a very, very, very tight fit and a pain in the ass, which makes me regret that I haven't actually drilled this out. I have half a mind when I've got this off again, if I do that, to actually go around and polish it up and make it look really pretty. and possibly polish the nudge bar, but we know about temporary fixes. They very often end up being permanent, and look, it looks alright. What I have noticed is it doesn't stand out like dog's balls. Whilst it doesn't look factory as such, it does blend in with the bar reasonably well at the front, which is part of the reason I was actually considering polishing it up a little bit to get it to blend in, try and make it look like the same material as the nudge bar, and have it be less obvious to the boys in blue. But most people have looked at it, haven't really noticed it too much. From up above, doesn't stand out a great deal, and certainly from head on, it's not overly obvious either. I probably could have gone a little bit narrower either side. I think I went about 900 long, so 90 centimetres. Probably could have got on one with 85 or so and brought it in a little bit closer, but I wanted to leave my room to work with putting the antennas in, etc. there, and give me room to screw the connections on. So that sits out reasonably wide, but I didn't want to go any wider than the bottom of the bar, so you'll see that pretty much lines up reasonably well. I didn't want to go any wider than that, so that was how I come to the length that I have there of 900. And then I have obviously affixing something to the front of the vehicle. I know the coppers get a little bit particular about sharp edges and whatever, so you'll see, and as per the video previously, I have rounded those edges off. Not my finest hour doing that work, but those rounded off reasonably well on all the corners, and I might even put a bit of an edge on that, but I'm going to be a little bit reluctant to pull it out. Haven't wired these up yet. They're just routed those wires through once I put the lights on, just so I could actually have them on there, and I've just cable tied them inside out of the way for now. I think what I will actually do is route the wires down and possibly through the top here, down near the number plate, rather than through there. That doesn't look crash hot. I have left myself some room through here. You can see there's probably, I don't know, hang on, so probably 5 to 10 mil, I suppose, between there. Get your little finger in there, so I didn't want that any closer than that for rubbing purposes, and that's obviously going to allow me to, I guess, just route the wires straight down and around the back there and through the front. Okay, so that's it. I'll give you an update once I've got it all done. I'll run a quick video of it and show you the finished product and all wired up and working, etc. Probably more particular once I get the light bar on, but for now, this is the finished product, and that's it. Again, took this from the Pajero forum, thanks to the guys on there who had posted up similar things. Just thought this might come in handy for somebody else who's looking to have a go at it. The next project, which I'm just about to jump into, and I will grab some video of, is pulling the dash apart to fit a brake controller, fit one of the radios. So that's it, guys. That's the project as it stands. Thanks very much for just tagging along on this one. Again, it was a real simple project. Very effective though. The real estate that you gain here is massive compared to just having those 2 bolt holes. You can pretty much put anything. You can probably put a small, and I might even look at that, maybe a small little just LED driving light in here, maybe a 7-inch or something might fit in there. Both of those driving lights that I've got on there are spot beams. I went with both of those because I wanted those to throw light down the road when combined with the LED, which throws a nice wide spread beam. So when I'm driving, I'll actually have these wired up, those two, and the LED light bar obviously wired through the high beam, but I'm also going to have those on separate switches as well. So when I'm driving on the freeway or something like that, you don't want that big wide spread of the LED light bar, because all of that comes back at you off the street signs, etc. So just having these two on in addition to the high beam or something like that will give me some extra distance. And obviously if I'm going off-road or I'm out country or something where I want a bit of a wide beam, kangaroos and all that sort of stuff, we'll flick on the LED light bar as well. So to come. That's it, guys. Thanks for sticking around for this one, and we'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.